you doing? Nope, my name's not Bert. I'm the lawnmower lady, and I like fixing small engines. Today's video is one in a series of some maintenance tips, tune-up, whatever you want to call it, on a Briggs Stratton L-head engine. Today's video is going to be about how to replace the air filter. Okay, on this particular engine, the air filter is located above the carburetor right here, and it's in this plastic box. And in order to get the lid off of here, it's going to be a little easier for us to just go ahead and remove the cover. So I'm going to remove this screw and that screw right there, and then we'll be able to take off the screw right here and lift off the cover. Alright, and this airbox has a really long screw on there, and that screw screws into the mouth or the intake of the carburetor. And as you can see, this is really clogged up with dirt. This is probably why this could not get started. Take out that screw right there, and this cover pops off, and you can see that this filter is pretty well clogged up. So I drain a lot of bad gas out of a lot of lawnmowers, so I will use some old bad gasoline before I take it to the recycling center, and I will clean off all this accumulated dust and dirt. Makes it a little easier. Use an old toothbrush or but it softens it up, especially if it's kind of dried on there, so I can hit it with a rag and clean all that up. What you want to do is just get as much of that dust and dirt off of there, because you don't want that going inside your carburetor and then going inside your engine, where it will just wear out your piston and your valves with a lot of dirt going in there. Alright. Looks pretty good. Alright, onto the air filter. Alright, so there are actually two types of filters that look very similar, but they're not the same, that go into these sort of five-sided air boxes here. The green one, as you see, has this rim around it. This is actually for an older style that has a metal box, and you can tell the entire air box itself will be made out of metal. The one we're going to use is this one right here. If you notice, the holes are off-center, but you do have to prep these to get them ready to go, and you have to put them with a light coating of oil. And the way I do that is I use a plastic bag, like a plastic lunch baggy thing right here, and what I do is just a couple of drops here and there. You're not really saturating it, you just want a little bit of oil here and there. And actually a lot of people clean these air filters, as long as they're not completely disintegrating and falling apart, which they eventually will do. You can wash them and clean them and dry them out. It's not economical for me to do that from a time standpoint, but the way I do it is I put a little bit of oil on there, just a little bit, and I put it in this plastic baggie, and I make sure it's, you know, not a lot of oil, they're just a tiny amount. And actually this one I have ready to go. And there's a very small amount of oil on there. As you can see, this one was in this bag, and now the next time I have one of these smaller engines, it will be ready to go for the next one. And this fits inside of here. Like I said, it's off-center, it only goes in there one way. Put that in like that. And then put the lid on, and it's ready to go. And you can see the difference. Wow, what a difference that makes. There was no way this engine could take in any air like that. Alright, so we'll put it back on. So there's a couple of things that you don't want to miss when you put this back on. Number one, sometimes there's a this little gasket right here around the intake manifold. Sometimes that'll come off. Make sure you got the little gasket. And then pay attention to how this screw goes in. It actually goes in right through the hole and screws into the bottom. So be careful when you're putting that on. The other thing to be mindful of is that this airbox, you see it has a little triangular side. It really only goes on that way. You can put it on, and I see a lot of engines come to me where they have it this way. Alright, which, yeah, you can make it fit, but it's kind of crooked, and it doesn't fit on there well, and it tends to get caught, you know, under bushes, or that shroud doesn't fit. So be sure you get it on the right way, which is arrow towards the back of the engine. Make sure it's clean around there. No big pieces of dirt fall on the inside. Line that up. Very carefully make sure you tighten that down, not too tight. And we'll put the shroud back on top. It hooks in on the front side there. And the two screws for the shroud are a Phillips head. Not too tight. Don't want to cross thread it. Alright, so there you have it. That's how I change the air filter on a Briggs Stratton L-head engine. One of these days I'll post a video on how to clean one. It's pretty easy to do. If you have the time to do it, that's great. I usually don't. But anyway, if you learned something or you like the video, please push the like and subscribe button, and I can make more of these videos. Remember, I'm the Lawnmower Lady, and as I like to say, mow happy.